Hi, I'm Dr. Jake Caldwell, and I'm a physical therapist, and I teach seminars on how to rejuvenate the body, how to help bring the body back to more suppleness and more youthfulness. And there are three major tools for that. That's exercise, diet, and sleep. And I think we all know that, but we don't do the greatest job on all three of those. Now, exercise and diet, most of us are trying on that, but sleep, we're ignoring sleep for the most part. We all know it's important, nobody really does much about it. And we need both more sleep, but also we need deeper sleep. The sleep we're actually getting isn't deep enough. And a lot of that is that our bodies are simply not comfortable at night, or where our bodies need to move around a lot. There's a lot of different positions the body just needs to get into at night. Curled up in a little ball on one side, flipped over with the arms up overhead. There's all sorts of positions. And we're just flat out not comfortable in a number of these positions, so we end up being uncomfortable in the middle of the night. That wakes us up, and we don't get into the deep sleep we really need to be into. Now, what we can do about that, and one of the things I teach in my seminars, is that there's 12 fundamental positions for sleeping. There's 12 of them. And what we do in the seminar is go through all 12 of them. And we find what are the common reasons for why these positions aren't comfortable, and we learn what we can do to make them more comfortable. I'll show you one today as an example. One of the great positions we all want to get into is face down. But face down is too extreme for most people, but there's a slightly face down position that works really well for almost everybody. And that is where you're on your side, because it's on, like right now I'm on the right side of my pelvis. That's technically on my side. But if I straighten out my right leg and let my left leg drop down, I'm still on the right side of my pelvis, so I'm still on my side, but I'm more turned towards the ground. That's what this leg dropping down has done. It's turned me towards a semi-face down position. This can be extremely comfortable, and it's one of those positions that most of us gravitate towards, and yet oftentimes we're not comfortable enough in this position to use it. So we want to make ourselves more comfortable here because we need this position. Now, what you'll see is one thing is it's a pretty significant side bend of the neck to get in this position. So almost everyone is going to need at least a pillow to be able to be comfortable here. The second thing you might notice is that my arm, the right arm, the bottom arm, has to really go across the body pretty far. This is something that can really limit this position. It's a pretty significant, it's called adduction, but that crossing of the arm across the body. Pretty significant there, and that can get in the way if your shoulder isn't flexible enough and supple enough. And then there is your top leg, your top thigh, needs to be able to drop down pretty far to the ground. That's a pretty significant range of motion for the hip. So we really have our neck, our shoulder, and our hip can really block this position. Now, talk about putting a pillow here for the neck. We can put a pillow here to take off some of that stretch on the thigh to make this position more comfortable. So many people will need 2 pillows to be comfortable here. And so you can get into a semi-face down position and be comfortable. So what I suggest is get in this position and see if you're comfortable. Put pillows where you need. And then what we need to do is see what might else be limiting you. For many people, I'm comfortable without a pillow in this position. But one of the big things we can do is this thigh needs to be stretched out more. You can easily do that lying on your side and bringing your top arm over. This will help stretch out this range of motion for your thighs and allow this hip to be able to drop down further like you need. The other thing we can do is pretty much in that position for sleep, you roll forward onto this shoulder and you go until you get a gentle stretch, and it will either be a pressure feeling in the front or a stretch in the back. You want to be really careful with the pressure position in the front, but a stretch in the back, you can gently stretch out and have that arm go across so that you're more comfortable in this position. Another easy stretch you can do for that is just this classic one of standing and bringing the arm across your body. This will stretch that out pretty nicely. It's very easy to do, and every time you do this during the day, you're helping making that position more comfortable so you can sleep more deeply at night. Because you're going to get in that position whether you want to or not. You may as well make it as comfortable as possible. That's the sort of stuff we cover in the sleep seminar that I teach.